A new Realm of the Mad God clone just released. It's called Darza's Dominion. It's actually pretty old, but this is the Steam release. It's new. Basically just Realm of the Mad God before pets. So not super unique. It's kind of nice though. The sprites range from actually pretty good to 2011 Realm of the Mad God. This has those crafting materials. Did not have those in 2017 to my recollection. You can exchange a stack of tin materials for a mystery box. Yay. Up or down. I'm gonna pick... I see a room up there, so I'm gonna pick it up. I wanna keep the big enemies down. They can drop crafting materials and whatnot. They're also kind of scary. Ouch, okay, even the little ones, they can really pound the damage on if you let them. That was almost death. Soulbound damage in this game is stupidly high, like unbelievably so. Oh, I got soulbound. What? Tier 7 rogue. That's not very good. There's a lot of other people. Oh, I'm gonna have to actually compete for loot. Oh, I got the pot? Oh, I actually got it. This is a difficult decision. Up or down again. We went up last time, so this time we'll go down. And it's a dead end. Looks like I picked wrong. It was up. Another thing these dungeons don't have that Realm of the Mad God dungeons, or at least the newer Realm of the Mad God dungeons do, is room variety. All these rooms are visually identical, which is a problem that is suffered by all the old dungeons in Visual Realm. Besides the treasure rooms, they're all exactly the same. Puppet Master's Theater is a good example of that. I guess technically that one has round rooms and square rooms, but they're visually just the same boring color. This one, you've got nice looking trees and whatnot, but it's all the same room. It's all a circular room with water through the middle. I do feel I've played it enough to be an expert on whether it's a good game or not. And it's a game. It certainly could use a lot. It's like Old Realm, you know? In fact, it is like Old Realm, just almost exactly. That's its problem, but that's not necessarily bad if they add cool stuff in the future. We'll have to see. It's very new. It came out just a couple days ago, just this week. Looks like it's just one other dude here. He's an assassin. Assassin in this game is actually a rogue, though. Nothing in this dungeon really does much damage to me except these like gremlins that fly around and shoot all the black stars. Plus this class can heal itself with the whip, so you can tank through a lot more than you can on other classes. I can't really speak with other classes, I've literally only played this one, but this one's pretty good. I also haven't done any of the in-game dungeons. I've seen some of them. A lot of it seems like bullets spewing and kind of frustrating, but I haven't done it, so I can't really be an expert. I'm an authority on the Godlord stuff though. It's actually not bad. I quite like this boss. It's kind of fun. Unfortunately, to heal as this class, you need to find an enemy with health. Fortunately, these enemies have health, so I can heal off this guy. Look at that. All my health is back in an instant. All the Godlands level bosses have had just like 3 or 4 phases that they repeat on loop. I don't like this one. This one's weird. It's just a tentacle phase, but it gets kind of buggy at times. And of course, as the Worm Rider, I can tank through a lot of damage that it deals. This is the chase phase. He chases, that's what he does in a chase phase, believe it or not. There are also AoEs falling from the ceiling. That's one thing that this has over Realm of the Mad God. These AoEs are very clearly indicated how big they're going to be. There are a lot of cool little things in this, so it certainly does have potential. Even if the core mechanics are identical to Realm of the Mad God. Will this max me? This is the big question. No. I saw someone die to the bear, and it looks like it could insta-kill you. It has a little bit of an insta-kill mechanic. It seems a lot of the Godlands enemies are just jump on you and insta-kill you sort of deal, which I don't particularly like. Trials of Titan was a Realm light that almost released, and it had a lot of enemies like that. That was one thing I didn't like about it. It had a cool, unique progression system where you got souls and you used those to upgrade your stats. This dungeon right here, the Primal Marsh, don't go inside it. Trust me. These you can't ignore. They die in one hit, but they move like madmen, and they hit like trucks. And more like a little Tonka truck. It's still pretty hard. It's made out of steel. Steel Tonka truck. The music of this game, there's like one track that's been playing for my entire adventure at this point. There were other tracks in the lower level areas, but I think all the mountain stuff has the same music at the current moment, and it's kind of frustrating because I thought there'd be cool music. And there's just this one background track that's been playing absolutely everywhere. And in hindsight, I should have disabled it because I'm going to add new music and editing. This is truly the realm of the Mad God early game experience under a new coat of paint. Wouldn't even call it like a good coat of paint. It's like you picked another color that was okay. You know, I don't hate it, but it wasn't any better than the old color. I'm gonna try to rush past these a little bit, not too much. I don't want to die, but I also don't want to be here forever. When I was starting out, I had to constantly leave the boss room because I wasn't knowledged or very statted up enough to stay in. Now I'm both knowledged and statted up. I'm realizing how boring it's gonna be to just run the same dungeon again and again, but that's what this game is. Oh, that was almost bad. He was like right on me for a while. Fortunately, he didn't feel like attacking while he was sitting directly on top of me. This is honestly one of the cooler looking dungeons. Probably the weakest of all the pot dropping dungeons in my experience. The boss, you can see, has only 36,000 health. It's pretty easily safe spottable as well. Out of the ones I've experienced, this one's not the best. I actually quite like the Chasm of Dread boss. It might just be because I've run Chasm of Dread the most. You can see by my 8 Chasm of Dread essence. I don't think I ever explained what the essence is. It's just a pity timer, that's all it is. And for some reason you can only have 3 essence up at a time. My first impressions were not very good, I'm going to be honest. I kind of hated the game for a while. And I still kind of do hate a lot. Like, it's just Realm of the Mad God. Nothing unique here, but the Chasm of Dread boss is pretty cool. This dungeon visually is cool. I don't like that there's slowing cobwebs between rooms. They could have used it more efficiently as like a hazard rather than just, oh yep, you gotta walk through it between the rooms. If this game had permanent progression, I think it would be a lot better, and I could actually put a good amount of time into it. As it stands, I don't really see myself playing much if I die on this character. Now we just stand in one spot. This is the most engaging boss. Although when it does its other phase, it has a second phase that it can do. This one's a bit weird. Generally, I'll just sit back and see what happens. It looks like I'm gonna stand here for it. Yep. That one's a bit weird. Sometimes you can stand still, sometimes you can't. And obviously if you can't stand still, you just don't bother and just only go in on this phase. I have no idea what the lore of this game is. I'm not to brag, but I'm kind of an expert on the Realm of the Mad God lore. This one, it just seems to be, oh yeah, this Darza. It's Darza, that's all there is to it. He's kind of the void, and when you kill his aspects of the void, the world becomes void, and then you go to the void to fight Darza. It's like, is it his dominion, or is he consuming it with the void? Considering the amount of people who are dedicated Realm of the Mad God lore fans, I don't think a lot of people are gonna care about the Darza lore. But fun to discuss anyway. Like, why is this cellar infested with spiders? Who knows? Maybe it's a sort of similar deal to Parasite Chambers, where it's just a Oryx's wine cellar or something. And the spiders came and ate everyone. I don't know. And now it's the infested cellar. Spiders? These spiders must be really drunk. Once again, we are met with an up or down. Oh, go away. I'm making an important decision. We're going down. These will paralyze you, and that's all they do. They paralyze. Oh, looks like down was wrong again. Look at this guy. Notice these projectiles have a red outline. When you run into them, they actually inflict confused. Look at that. Oh, they don't even do damage. They just hit you with that confused. The enemy variety here, even though it's not too big, there's like 3 little spiders and like 3 big ones. It works. The amount of enemies goes a lot farther than it does in the other medium level dungeons. I don't know what to call this. Godlands dungeons is what I've been saying, but it's not Godlands. We also completed a stack of leather. You know what that means? Loot box time. You trade with this dude, you get a loot box, and you open it, and it has a useless item in it. That's definitely something this game struggles with on these dungeons, is enemy variety. It's just so many of the same enemies. The Primal Marsh has 5 enemies that aren't the boss, and it's a huge dungeon with absolutely no guidance. I've spent hours in there. Look at that side. Oh, I got disconnected. Another thing good that I will say about this game is there are 4 different Highlands areas that are all pretty different. There's the frozen north, the wild west, the far east. It's like a lush biome. And of course the molten south. This is going to be our final trade of the day. An accessory crate. Look at all the items you get. Oh, it looks like the top tier stuff the tier 5 stuff is actually a 0.5% chance. I got that twice in a row, so I must be pretty lucky.